Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Unorthodox Vegan. My name is Sean Gold, and this week, week 51, we are going to be making a chocolate chip peanut butter cookie dough. This is part of week 12 of the SRAG, Environmental Sustainability Road to Reaction Group.org's 15-day plant-based diet challenge. And this is day 12, and this is all about family and social occasions. Man, so what better treat to provide than a chocolate chip and peanut butter cookie dough? It's going to be really simple. Now, I have to admit I haven't made this one before, so I'm just going to do it for the first time. Now, the recipe calls for a can of chickpeas, and just take the chickpeas, drain them. Now, I don't drain them in the sink. I drain them into a jar, and I use that chickpea juice for a lot of different things. It can be used as a nice soup stock. Also, a can of black beans, the liquid from that is also awesome when you make a soup stock. So that's great in that. Or you can whip that. Actually, you can add sugar, whip it, and make it. Do all kinds of cool stuff with it. The chickpeas themselves, though, have a skin on them. And this recipe doesn't call for it, but I thought I would show you what to do. But decided to take the skin off, which you just pull the skin off the chickpea, throw it in there. It takes a little bit of time to do them all, but you can see I can go through them fairly quickly. You just pull the skin off. Just a little bit of white skin there that's in there. And you can see that, as I said, I've already done most of it. So I'm just leaving a few here so you can see how quickly it is to do that. The key thing is that it's a texture issue. It's not a taste issue per se, but it does give you a texture issue. And while this recipe didn't call for it to be done, I thought if we're going to just be putting this into a cookie dough and all we're doing is going to be putting it through a food processor, there's a chance that we'll get that texture coming through. And I don't want to have that. So the simplest thing was to just drain the chickpeas, rinse them, and do a quick peel on them, which, as I said, is pretty quick. You can see that I'm going through a dozen of them right here while we're talking. So it's a very simple task to do. Just peel off the skin. It comes off really easily. And once you've done that, we're going to be putting those into the food processor along with a quarter cup of maple syrup and a half cup of natural peanut butter. So that's what we're going to be putting into the food processor. I'll be processing that to make it nice and thick and nice and mixed up, evenly mixed. So it's just going to be the chickpeas, can of chickpeas, drained, rinsed, and I've taken the skins off, but that's not a requirement. I just think that it's going to be better. Quarter cup of maple syrup and the half cup of peanut butter. All I'm going to do is put that in the food processor, blend it really nicely together, creamy mix, and then putting it back into a bowl here and adding in a half cup of chocolate chips. I think that's what it is. Yeah, half cup of chocolate chips, roughly mixing that together. And that's going to be the treat. And we're going to just serve it. So I'm just going to throw that all into the food processor, mix it all up, and we'll be back in a minute. As you can see, I have finished processing the chickpea peanut butter and maple syrup mixture. By the way, they suggested you could use agave in there rather than maple syrup. That was one of the choices. And as you can see, that this is a nice thick dough. I actually had to put in an extra tablespoon or so of the maple syrup because it just was a little too thick. So I'm going to just be putting this into here and then dumping in the chocolate chips. Now, what I've got for the chocolate chips is I've got the larger chocolate chips, which I didn't really want. So I kind of put them in a coffee grinder just for a few seconds and shook it up a little bit, trying to break them up so that they're not quite as big. But, it's up to you what you like. I am using chocolate chips for that purpose. So whatever it is, I'm just going to put those into there and just mixing that together. And we don't want to do that in the blender because we don't want it to be turned into we want the texture of the chocolate chips in there. So that's why I'm doing that this way. And I am going to finish mixing this all up, getting it all together, and I'll come back for a taste test. As you can see, that cookie dough is all mixed together, and it is very much like a cookie dough. It's nice and thick. You could look like you could make balls of it, but there's no flour in it. So it's really cool. By the way, I wanted to point out that I did keep the skins for the chickpeas themselves, and I plan on putting that in with the liquid that I poured off, the liquid from the chickpea mix. That'll be really good in a soup stock, just having that a little extra texture to it. So that'll be great for that. Anyhow, it says to put this on a cookie, and I didn't have any plans. It says using an animal cracker type cookie or a graham wafer, and I don't have any of those around. So I just took I did take the top off of a Girl Guide cookie. These are the vegan Girl Guide cookies. So I'm using one of those, took the top off, and I'm going to put a little bit of this on there and see. Well, more than a little bit. I'm putting in some of that and doing the taste test. So here, let's see how it goes. All right, let's see how it goes. Well, that is delicious. That is really, really good. Mm. My grandkids are going to be over here in 2 days. They're going to gobble this up. If you'd like more information about this, you can check out day 12 on the SRAG 15-day plant-based challenge. That's srag.org. And as always, if you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me at my email address up here, which is vrcompanions@gmail.com. And of course, please follow me on my YouTube channel. That's www.youtube.com/@the_unorthodox_vegan. Until next time, have yourself a great day.